If you are an enthusiast of American muscle cars, you'll realize that they are more than simply vehicles. They stand for decades of creativity, passion, and skill, and are emblems of independence, strength, and flair. However, a few thousand muscle vehicles have been built, and some of them are really unique. We'll show you 9 of the rarest American muscle vehicles ever produced in this video, along with the reasons for their unique status in automotive history. 9. The 1970 Hemi Superbird limited edition of the Plymouth Roadrunner, a muscle vehicle recognized for its cartoon persona and distinctive horn sound, was the 1970 Hemi Superbird. With a big front nose and a tall rear wing, the Superbird's unique form increased its aerodynamics. It was designed for NASCAR racing. It was equipped with a powerful 426 cubic inch Hemi engine that produced 425 horsepower using 2 4-barrel carburetors. The Hemi Superbird was very quick in its day. Some claim it may achieve a high speed of around 143 miles per hour and accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in as low as 5.5 or perhaps 4.8 seconds. Its svelte form contributed to both its remarkable speed and several NASCAR race victories. There were just 135 of these Hemi Superbirds produced in 1970, making them very rare and valuable today. 8. R-Code 1966 Ford Fairlane 500. The rarest and most expensive Ford vehicle produced in the 1960s is this one. Only 57 of these Fairlanes were produced by Ford, and they were priced at around $4,500. Since of this, the majority of ordinary people chose the standard Fairlane V8 since they were too pricey. So why would someone buy what is essentially a nice muscle vehicle for twice as much money? The 1966 Fairlane 500 R-Code was Ford's most potent muscle vehicle at the time, which explains why. It was equipped with Ford's most powerful engine at the time, a gigantic 427 cubic inch V8 that produced 425 horsepower thanks to 2 4-barrel carburetors. The vehicle was a true speed demon, as it also had a 4-speed manual gearbox and a 3.89 gear ratio. Even more unique are the 57 Ford Fairlane 500 R-Code's Wimbledon, white paint job, and the massive 427 cubic inch engine, which was quite uncommon among muscle vehicles at the time. 7. Chevrolet Impala Z11 from 1963. For its day, the 1963 Chevrolet Impala Z11 was very quick. According to some accounts, it could attain a high speed of around 124 miles per hour and accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in only 4.3 seconds. Despite sharing many external characteristics with the standard Impala, it was distinguished by a few unique features. Chevy utilized aluminum for the body pieces, which made it lighter and quicker. In addition, they removed the heater, front sway bar, radio, and sound-absorbing materials. This huge 7-liter V8 engine, which had an official rating of somewhat less, was said to be capable of producing 430 horsepower and 575 pound-feet of torque. Only 57 of these cars were ever produced, making it an extremely rare vehicle intended for racing enthusiasts. 6. Chevrolet Corvette L88 from 1967. This was not intended to be a street vehicle. It was designed for racing. Not only did it lack a radio, heater, or air conditioning, but it also required high-octane gasoline and was difficult to start. A highly customized 427 cubic inch V8 engine from Chevy with 2 4-barrel carburetors was part of the L88 special option package, which gave it an amazing 530 horsepower. Interestingly, in an attempt to put off purchases, Chevrolet officially rated it at 430 horsepower, downplaying its power. There were only 20 L88 Corvettes made in 1967, which makes them very uncommon and desirable in today's market. One of these automobiles sold for an absurd $3.85 million at an auction in 2014, to give you an idea of how much they are worth. 5. Pontiac GTO Judge convertible from 1971. Only 17 of the 357 Pontiac GTO cars that Pontiac built in 1971 were convertible variants, which is what makes this particular one unique. A powerful 455 V8 engine, a ram air hood, a rear spoiler rally 2 wheels, and striking graphics and emblems were among the awesome characteristics of the GTO Judge package. It stands out from the others because, to its performance and style mix, only 17 of the 357 convertibles produced at the time were convertibles, making them much more expensive now due to their rarity. It goes beyond the meager output figures, however. a powerful 455 cubic inch V8 engine that produced an amazing 335 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque powered these 17 convertibles. This muscle vehicle could reach 60 miles per hour from zero in 6.1 seconds and reach 102 miles per hour in 13.4 seconds during a quarter-mile run. That is rather remarkable, particularly in light of the car's weight of more over 4,000 pounds. 4. Plymouth Hemi Cuda Convertible 1970-1971. This car's convertible style is what's so unique about it. As you can see, Plymouth didn't make a lot of Cuda convertibles in those years. There were just 21 Cuda convertibles with Hemi engines that left the manufacturing line in 1970 and 1971. With just 10 produced annually, it is a serious candidate to be among the most uncommon American muscle vehicles ever. A powerful 426 cubic inch Hemi V8 engine, producing an amazing 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque, propelled the Hemi Cuda convertible. Its distinctive shaker hood scoop, which vibrated in tandem with the engine, twin exhaust pipes, and aggressive rear spoiler all contributed to its attractiveness. The Hemi Cuda is now an extremely uncommon discovery. The handful that are still in existence may fetch auction prices of about $2 million, making it both a desirable collectible and a rarity. Number 3. Torino King Cobra 1974. This isn't just any old production model automobile. Ford created the prototype in order to participate in a NASCAR racing against the Dodge Charger Daytona and Plymouth Superbird. Although it was constructed on the 1970 Torino chassis, the King Cobra had a significantly more streamlined and aerodynamic body. To improve its performance on the racetrack, it featured a large rear spoiler, pointed grille, and a long nose. It had a powerful 429 cubic inch Boss V8 engine under the hood that produced 450 pound-feet of torque and 375 horsepower. In order to meet the demands of racing, it also had a heavy-duty suspension, front disc brakes, and a 4-speed manual gearbox. Only 3 of these vehicles were ever produced, and none of them were able to compete in NASCAR races, which is what really sets the King Cobra apart. In 1970, Ford was forced to leave the competition due to new rules requiring 500 vehicles to be produced in order to be homologated. One of the rarest and most costly Ford muscle cars ever made, the King Cobra's reputation has been solidified by its uniqueness and its fascinating past. It's often regarded as the quickest Ford that was never entered into a race. The second is a 1969 Zone Chevrolet Corvette. The 1969 Chevrolet Corvette ZL1, a vehicle that altered public perception of the Corvette, comes in second. It was known as the Stingray because of its 427 cubic inch engine, which made it the most powerful Corvette of its day. Its 427 cubic inch engine, which tested 560 to 580 horsepower, even though official figures said it only had 430 horsepower, was what made it unique. It was also 100 pounds lighter than the late E8 engine used in earlier Corvettes. A few improvements were needed for the 1969 Corvette ZL1 to manage all that power. It included a transistorized ignition system, heavy-duty brakes, positive-traction rear axle, and unique front and rear suspension. Only 2 of these 1969 Chevrolet Corvette ZL1s were ever sold by Chevy, according to records, and only one of them is fully documented. Its exceptional performance and uniqueness make it one among the most prized and sought-after Corvettes in history. The 1967 Shelby Mustang GT500 Super Snake is ranked 1. The pinnacle of Carroll Shelby's Mustang creations is this vehicle. Not only is it very uncommon, but it is also one of a kind, and its exceptional qualities begin under the engine. The V8 engine underpinning the 67 GT500 Super Snake was identical to one powering the legendary Ford G40 Mach TIE, the Le Mans racer. Shelby drove the vehicle 500 miles at an average speed of 142 miles per hour to make sure the tires wouldn't blow out and to make sure everything could handle the enormous power of this V8. The project, however, did not go according to plan. Ford decided to discontinue it because of price concerns, even though the original objective was to construct 50 cars. Ultimately, there was only one of these amazing cars left, and it had a maximum speed of 170 mph. At an auction hosted by Macomb in 2019, it achieved the record of being the most expensive Mustang ever sold, selling for an astounding $2,200,000 million. For all Mustangs, this makes it the ultimate rarity and the gem in the crown. Which of these vehicles would you pick up to add to your collection if you could go back in time? Tell us in the space provided for comments.